In this video, I'll show you step by step how to bulk properly so you actually get jacked. And this will include how to start your bulk, how to train, and exactly how to eat so you make lean gains and you minimize fat. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. The goal of my videos is to simplify fitness and nutrition, just plain and simple. The fitness industry makes it all seem like rocket science, but I promise you guys, it's not. I try my best to make my videos short and to the point so you spend less time consuming and more time actually getting jacked. And what I teach works. You can go through my videos if you don't believe me and read all the comments. There are guys getting the best results of their life following my system. But the first question to ask is, why should you even consider bulking, and is it for you? Bulking's main purpose is to put on muscle, and that may be obvious for some of you guys watching, but you guys have to remember that there are new people joining the fitness industry every day. If you are very overweight, you probably shouldn't bulk, and a better way to judge this is if you look in the mirror at yourself and you feel like you're already carrying too much fat, you're super unconfident with your body, then it's kind of obvious that you should cut first. Bulking when you're already overweight is just going to add more fat and will make you feel worse about your physique. And a good example of a person that should bulk would have been my younger self. So I'm 6 feet tall, and in high school, I was somewhere around 130 and 140 pounds. And I wouldn't say that I was like a complete stick, but I was definitely skinny. And a bad example of a person that should bulk would be someone that is around 5'9" and maybe 190 to 200 pounds. Ideally, their lean and jacked weight is going to be around 160 to 170. So it would be best for them to cut down to around 10 or so percent body fat and then build from there. Most new lifters, and myself included, think you just start lifting weights and the muscle is going to stack. That's only halfway true. And I want you to think of lifting like planting a seed. If you never water it, then nothing's going to happen. No matter how many seeds you plant, lifting being the seed, food and recovery are the water and sunlight. Without them, you're not going to grow. When I was a beginner, I was always in the gym, but outside of it, I was under eating, I was under sleeping, under hydrating, and just under recovering, basically planting seeds with no water. So the first thing we're going to do is find out how much food you need in a day to start building muscle. And if you fit the description of someone who needs to bulk, take your body weight in pounds and then multiply it by 15. That's going to be your maintenance calories. And if you eat that number daily, you will not gain weight and you will not lose weight. If you sit all day, so let's say you're sedentary and you work an office job, you might use 14 instead of 15. And then if you're super active, use 16. And then add 200 to 300 calories on top of that for your bulk. You now have your lean bulk calories. And for me being 6 feet, around 190 pounds, this is gonna be about 3,200 calories a day for my lean bulk. Now to track this, you're gonna weigh yourself each morning under the same conditions and then average those 7 numbers or those 7 days each week. If the average weight isn't moving up, then you're gonna add 150 calories. And if it's climbing too fast, then pull 150 calories back. The goal is about half a pound to a pound per week, or 2 to 4 pounds a month. And I know some of you guys might be thinking like, that's gonna take me forever to put on weight. But if you're gaining faster than that, you are 100% putting on more fat than you need. It's not worth trying to bulk any faster, as this is gonna lead to stretch marks. And if you guys are trying to get jacked and actually be aesthetic, you're not going to want a bunch of stretch marks on your body. I can promise you that. Now, calories are made up of macros. Macros meaning protein, fats, and carbs. And this is what I would aim for personally. Protein, you've probably all heard this, maybe you haven't, but 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. And then your fat is going to be somewhere around 25 to 30% of your total calories. And then the rest of your calories can be filled in with carbs. I personally stick to a whole foods or real food meal plan. I just build each meal the same way: a protein, a carb, and then a little healthy fat. I don't lean to any extremes. I'm not carnivore. Like I said, just clean, nutrient dense whole food. That's it. Repeat it 3 to 4 times a day. So 3 to 4 quality meals. You might add a snack for extra protein, and then a sample meal could look like this: 8 ounces of grass-fed 85/15 ground beef, and then dice up some sweet onions with a little bit of avocado oil. And then you can make some sweet potato fries in an air fryer, just kind of toss them in a little bit of avocado oil as well. And then a half or a whole avocado on the side. And then for the vegetable, you could do like green beans or just whatever you prefer. And then track with an app like Macro Factor or MyFitnessPal if you're new to this. I don't use any apps often, as I've been doing this for over 10 years. And as you get to that stage, you can kind of just look at food and estimate the calories. In order to do this accurately, you're going to have to pick up a cheap food scale at Amazon or Walmart so you actually know what you're eating. And after a while, like I said, you'll start to be able to just eyeball your portions. And then for supplements, I keep it simple: creatine, so 5 to 10 grams a day, and then a protein powder if needed, and maybe caffeine before training, and that is it. Okay, so we just covered nutrition. Now let's move on to training. And the best plan for most people is going to be a 4 day upper lower split. That's personally what built my physique and what I'll always recommend. So it's going to be 2 upper days and then 2 lower days. That covers your whole body twice per week, which is perfect for growth. And then on the rest days, if you want to throw in some abs or some core work, or maybe some low intensity cardio like daily walks or, just doing some type of activity outside, feel free to do that. So once you've got your program, progression is what is going to matter the most. I want you to pick a rep range like 8 to 12 or 6 to 10, whatever you enjoy. And once you hit the top number with clean reps, add a little weight, so maybe 5 pounds, so 2.5 on each side of the bar. And then the next time, I want you to start again at that lower rep range with the higher weight. And I promise you guys that you don't have to complicate any of this. My whole YouTube channel and my philosophy is built off of simplicity. So the physique you're seeing, the way I train, all of this is built around simplicity. You do not have to overcomplicate fitness. If there's one thing you take away from my channel, it is that, and I'm proof of it. And I won't go super deep here because I've already built full templates, complete programs, and exact setups inside of my Average to Jack program. Everything is 100 times the detail and just step by step. It's the exact program I wish I had when I was starting and works no matter if you're skinny, you're fat, or you're just in between. The next part is going to be on timeline and mindset. And this is the part nobody likes to hear. A proper lean bulk is not 4 weeks, it's not even 12 weeks. You need to commit 6 months minimum if you want to actually see muscle tissue show up. So stop chasing 30-day transformations and think in seasons and not weeks. The hardest part of bulking isn't eating or training, it's patience. You won't notice huge changes every week, but if you stick with it, you're gonna look like a completely different person. Now let's talk about tracking progress. Here are the 3 main things to track: your weight trends over weeks, your strength progression in the gym, and then photos once a month or weekly if you want in the same lighting conditions. If your lifts are climbing, your weight is trending up, and your photos show change, then you're on track. That's the proof. So here's your final checklist. Decide if you should bulk. If you're overweight, cut first. If you're lean or average and want size, then bulk. Find your calories, so multiply your body weight between 14 to 16, and then add 200 to 300 calories on top of that. You're gonna then hit protein daily, keep fats moderate, and then carbs fuel the rest. Keep meals simple and repeatable. Train 4 days a week with an upper lower split, and then sleep 7 to 9 hours, walk daily, and stick with it. I promise you guys, if you do this for a minimum of 6 months, you're gonna actually start looking like you lift. And if you want the exact plan that I use, so all the templates, the workout programs, everything step by step, so you don't have to guess, then grab my Average to Jack program link below. I appreciate you guys watching. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.